Production. Let's get it.
Hello, everyone. It's me, Dr. Butler. Today, I want to break down some of the biggest medical and pharmaceutical trends in weight loss. My goal isn't to push you towards anything or pull you away. It's to give you clarity, context, and realistic expectation. Now, am I for it or against it? Here's the truth. You know your body. You know what you've tried. You know what hasn't worked. You know how much effort you're willing to put in, how much effort you're able to put in. So I'm not here to judge your choices. I'm here to make sure you understand what you're doing to your body, what precautions matters, and what it takes to stay healthy along the way. My role is simple. I give you the science and the real world considerations, and you make an informed decision that aligns with your life, your goals, and your health. So let's get into it. First, let's talk about GLP-1s and similar medication. The full name is glycogen-like peptides 1 receptor agonist, and it's one of the biggest shifts in obesity and metabolic care in decades. Other common medications in this category includes Ozempic, Wegovy, Monojero, and Zepbound. It's powerful multi-system drug that mimics natural gut hormones that regulate insulin release, glycogen suppression, stomach emptying, and appetite and satiety signals. They were first created to treat type 2 diabetes, but now they're widely used for obesity, lowering cardiovascular risk and several other emerging health conditions. GLP-1 medication stimulates the natural gut hormone that your body releases after you eat. They can help with weight loss by reducing appetite, increasing feeling of fullness, and decreasing food cravings. So, in other words, it slows down your digestive system and it keeps you full by keeping the food in your stomach so you have no desire to eat. The effects are psychological and not willpower based. Now, this may sound like a miracle drug, but let me share with you what they don't. Common side effects are nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, bloating, fatigue, and reduced appetite to a point of undernutrition. Some of the serious risks are pancreatitis, gallbladder disease, severe dehydration, and gastroparesis, which is delayed stomach emptying. It worsens diabetic eye disease in some individuals. There's electrolyte imbalances, malnutrition, and excessive muscle loss. As an exercise scientist, my biggest concern with this type of medication is accelerated muscle loss. When the body undergoes significant calorie deficit, whether through fasting, surgery, medication, it doesn't just burn fat, it's burning your muscles. Historically, roughly 20 to 40% of weight loss through calorie restriction comes from a loss of muscle. So, because the food is sitting in your stomach, you're not getting the adequate protein to support your muscles. Remember, GLP-1 medication were originally designed for type 2 diabetes, and later we started using it for weight loss. Since then, research has uncovered a broad benefits, including related to heart, kidney, and liver health. Ongoing clinical trials may further expand the use of GLP-1s in the future. But the bottom line is, you most definitely need to participate in resistance training when using these medications. So now let's get into the weight loss surgeries. There are actually three common types of surgery: the gastric sleeve, the gastric bypass, and SADI-S. I know some people consider this option the easy way out. However, it's actually a medical intervention designed to help people with severe obesity to improve metabolic health, risk disease, and to regain quality of life when other methods haven't worked. Each of these surgeries changes the digestive system anatomy. Now, the gastric sleeve is the most common weight loss surgery in the US. In this procedure, surgeons are going to remove about 80% of the stomach, leaving behind a tubular sleeve that is the size and the shape of a banana. So when your stomach is made smaller, you naturally eat less and you'll feel full sooner. But the other key benefits is the smaller stomach produces fewer hunger hormones. That means fewer craving, better appetite control, and it lowers the chance of slipping back into old patterns that lead to weight regain. It's typically done laparoscopically, meaning surgeons use a few small incisions, place a camera and specialized tools instead of making one large cut. The gastric sleeve mainly limits how much you can eat, but the gastric bypass goes a step further by combining restriction with reduced nutrient absorption. Bypass surgery. The digestive system is reshaped into two steps. First, the surgeon is going to create a small pouch about the size of an egg that is separate from the rest of the stomach. Then the small intestine is divided. The lower section is connected directly to the new pouch. So from that point on, food is going to move from the small pouch straight into the small intestine, bypassing the rest of the stomach and part of the first intestine. As a result, your body is going to absorb fewer calories and nutrients. The last surgery I want to highlight is SADI-S. Because it blends the gastric sleeve with the internal bypass, is one of the most powerful options for significant weight loss and improving metabolic conditions like type 2 diabetes. It's also a two-step procedure. First, the surgeon's going to remove about 80% of the stomach, creating a narrow sleeve that limits how much you can eat and lowers hunger hormones. Next, the part of the intestines is divided, and the lower section is connected directly to that point. So it reroutes the food by bypassing a large part of the small intestines. With a shorter path to travel, the body has less time and space to absorb calories and nutrients. So surgery is just one tool. Success relies on long-term commitment to significant lifestyle changes, including specific dietary habits and regular physical activity. The last topic I want to touch on is a nutrient, peptides, a class of research chemicals. Peptides are short chains of amino acids. So basically, they're tiny proteins, and they act as signaling molecules in the body. They tell the cells what to do: repair tissue, release hormones, reduce inflammation, regulate metabolism, and so much more. Because they're small and easy for cells to work with, peptides are heavily researched in labs for their potential roles in healing tissue, hormone regulation, metabolic health, neurology function, and immune response. However, research peptides are lab made compounds intended only for scientific use, not human consumption. They are used in a controlled environment to study how specific signaling pathways work. Now, here's why they work. Peptides play a role in nearly every biological process in the body. Research studies them because they mimic natural processes. They aid in regeneration. They support large targeted studies, and they explore therapeutic potential from muscle growth to anti-aging. So, the million-dollar question: how do they help weight loss? Well, peptides don't just burn fats themselves. They influence signaling pathways that affect metabolism, appetite, recovery, and body composition. Some compounds can stimulate growth hormone release, which plays a role in fat metabolism, muscle preservation, and recovery and repair. Then some peptides increases the body's ability to break down stored fat. This means fat becomes more readily available as an energy source, especially when paired with strength training and adequate protein intake. Lastly, some repair tissue and inflammation, meaning if recovery improves, you can train more consistently, build more muscles, and maintain a higher metabolic rate. Peptides are powerful signaling molecules with real scientific potential. But outside of medical supervision, you're dealing with unregulated research chemicals. The risk isn't just the side effects, you don't know what you're actually consuming. At the end of the day, there is no one size fit all path to weight loss or metabolic health. Medications, surgery, or even peptides are simply tools. And every tool comes with benefits, risk, and responsibility. What matters the most is that you understand what you're choosing, why you're choosing it, and how to protect your long term health along the way. Your body deserves more than just quick fixes and guesswork. It deserves informed decisions, consistent habits, and a plan that supports strength, muscle, mobility, and longevity. Whether you're considering medication, surgery, or you're staying on the course with life changes, the goal is still the same: healthier, stronger, more confident you. My job is to give you the science. Your job is to choose what aligns with your life. And together, we make sure you stay safe, supported, and empowered every step of the way. If you found this video helpful, please like, comment, and share. And I will see you next week. Bye-bye.